We continue covering Colorado First at 5, and the BolderBoulder race become a Memorial Day tradition for many Colorado runners, but the pandemic forced organizers to adapt. So this year, instead of one big race, thousands of runners ran 10K routes in 6 different cities, and they're calling this year's event BolderBoulder on the Run. Our Justin Adams live in Littleton, where one of those races is being held, and Justin, organizers had to really get creative this year.
Yeah, 100%, Dom. Normally this race is where people just run through the streets of Boulder, and it's a huge celebration that ends at Folsom Field. But this year, race organizers, they had to make several changes to keep the tradition alive.
Today was perfect. It was perfect.
Robert Rodez is 89 years old, and he wasn't going to let a little rain stop him and his family from running the BolderBoulder.
I told my daughter, I was running with my daughter, and if it would have been downpouring, we still would have ran because we wanted to run the BolderBoulder.
Rodez was just one of 8,000 runners who was back on the course. It was the first time the 10K race was in person since the pandemic began.
Huge pent-up demand on our part, knowing that there's a huge pent-up demand on the runners' parts.
The race wasn't in Boulder as usual. Organizers spread out the race over 3 days and held it in 6 different courses from Fort Collins to Douglas County, keeping the crowds low and giving runners flexibility to run when it worked for them.
We were saying midday, hey, if you want to move your time up and run now, go ahead, because we had things so spread out on purpose.
One new addition was allowing pets and parents with strollers to run as well.
That child of yours is going to be running the BolderBoulder in a few years, so let's give them a taste now.
The hope is that next year's race is back in Boulder, but this will do for now.
This feels a breath of fresh air.
Yes, it does, Dom. And now the race organizers, they are hoping to bring 2 more races back later on this year. The Fortitude at Fort Collins is looking to make a return on Labor Day, and the other race is the Colder Boulder, which is hoping to make its return on the 2nd week of December. In Littleton, Justin Adams, covering Colorado First.
You got to get creative, Justin. Thank you. Well,